Hey everybody, I'm Joe McCall from wholesalingleaseoptions.com. I want to thank you for visiting my website. I'm real excited about this business. I've got some really cool things to share with you. Let me just tell you a little bit about my story first. A couple years ago when I got started wholesaling lease options, I wanted a business that met 8 very specific goals. First one being, I wanted a business that would give me the same income that my full-time job gave me, only doing it part-time. And that's what's happened. I still only work part-time in this business, and I still make a full-time income. I wanted a business that would not cost too much money to start. And number 3, I wanted a business that would produce immediate and consistent cash flow. And I wanted a business that would help me get out of debt and create long-term capital wealth. I wanted a business that would allow me to run it from anywhere in the world. And that's the amazing thing about this business, is that you can do that. I wanted a business that was simple, honest, and had very low overhead. I wanted a business that would help people and benefit the community. And finally, I wanted a business that would give me the luxury of spending more time with my family. And by God's grace, that's happened. So what are the benefits of wholesaling lease options? What is this all about? Number 1 is cash flow. Cash flow is important. As you probably know, you're doing a lot of deals, you're buying subject twos, you're doing short sales, you're rehabbing properties. But you have these big back-end paydays, but what are you doing in the middle to help fill in the gaps and pay all the bills? I share a lot in my story how I was equity rich but cash poor, and then that equity that I thought I had, quickly disappeared when the market crashed. I had a serious cash flow problem. I loved wholesaling, I loved lease options, and so I asked myself, what can I do with all of these leads that I'm throwing away that don't have any equity, they're not behind on payments? What can I do with these leads to help fill in this cash flow problem I have? And then that's when I asked myself, well, why not wholesale lease options? And I put these two things together and developed this system. So cash flow is the most important part of real estate investing, and this system is a great way to jumpstart your cash flow and to help you out. The other benefit to this system is that it's simple. It's simple. 1, 2, 3. This is what you do. This is what you say to the seller. This is what you do to the buyer. You have lots of checklists. That's important to know that this is simple. It's not complicated, and anybody can do this. In this market right now, as you probably know, there's a ton of sellers who can't sell and a ton of buyers who can't buy. I don't know of any other system that can help so many people where you can make so much money right now. This is a perfect market for this strategy, and it works even when the market's hot and when the market is not. Doesn't matter which direction the market is heading. This strategy really, really works well. Very limited risk in this business. Very limited risk. On my option contracts with the sellers, I only put $10, and the contract they can cancel at any time. I'm just assigning my interest in these lease option contracts to other people. So there's very limited risk, if any. Very little competition too. Very few sellers or investors are doing this business, so I have very little competition. It's very non-confrontational. It's easy to talk to sellers. There's no stress involved. You're not looking for bottom-of-the-barrel motivated sellers in crime-ridden neighborhoods. You're not trying to get them to drop their price to 50 cents on the dollar. Basically, I have an offer that's very difficult for the seller to say no to. I ask them, what do you want for your house? And when they tell me, I say, okay, I can get that for you. So it's very, very non-confrontational, easy to make offers. So you really do have the ability to help people who have little to no equity in their homes. It's another big, big benefit because there's so many people like that out right there right now. You don't need any money to get started. You don't need any money to do your marketing. It's very simple. And I'll show you how to find sellers for free and how to do your marketing for free or spend very little money. The other cool thing is you can do this business virtually from anywhere in the world. I literally outsource 80% of my business to virtual assistants and selling assistants, and it's beautiful. I still only work part-time on this business and make a full-time income doing it. Another cool thing is you don't need to see the sellers or meet the sellers or see the house anymore. You don't have to show the home. It's very simple to outsource that part of the business. I never meet the sellers anymore. I only talk to them on the phone, and they sign my contracts on the internet. I give them a link to my website where they can fill out the contract right there online and shoot it off to me with their signature, their digital signature on it, and that's all I need to get started. I have the seller send me the pictures. I have the seller help me show the home. I also have a local assistant who helps me sell the homes, And I can do this business virtually from anywhere in the world. And let me give you a little example about marketing and how easy it is to do this. Recently, I found about 400 sellers on a certain website. I got their phone numbers, and I sent out a bunch of marketing. It took me 30 minutes, cost me about $20 to do all of this marketing, and I got back about 95 responses from sellers. But here's the cool thing. 45% of those sellers that called me back were warm leads. Sellers that said, yeah, you know what, I'm interested, tell me more. And this was in a market that's not even close to where I live. I got a virtual phone number. I was doing this just as an example to show students how easy this is to do in another market. But that's about a 12% response rate to the marketing. Now, when you're sending direct mail or postcards or yellow letters, those are great. Those work really, really well. But generally, you can expect a 2 to 5% response rate. I was able to get 12% response rate with only spending about $21 and about 30 minutes of my time. And I had more leads than I could handle. So that's why I get so excited and passionate about this business. Finally, you can make money in as little as 1 week doing this. I've made money, found a buyer, found a seller, assigned my lease option contracts, and I made money in as little as a few days before. So this is money that's easy, that you can make cash flow really quick, and I'm really excited about it. So anyway, if you fill out your name and email, either below or on the left or the right, fill out your name and your email address, and I got some really exciting bonuses I want to send you. The first one is a free report I did with video tutorials on how to find, hire, and train your own $2 an hour virtual assistant. I'm going to give you the website I use, the training tools I use to train my virtual assistant. It's very easy to do. In fact, if I remember correctly, I had over 250 virtual assistants apply for my job in less than about 10 or 12 hours, and I had to shut the job down. But I walk you through in this video how to find and hire and train these virtual assistants at $2 an hour. The second bonus I want to give you is a report I created that gives you the top 10 or 12 tools I use on the internet that you might have never heard of before that makes my job, my business, a lot more easier and systematic. These are tools that are either free or very, very inexpensive that I get real excited about technology and systematizing this business. But these are 10 or 12 tools that I think you will find some real value to. The third bonus I want to give you if you put your name and information down below, is a 4 or 5 live recorded calls I did with sellers. And you're going to hear some sellers say no, you're going to hear a couple sellers say yes, and you're going to hear all about a deal I got in particular. One of these calls with these live sellers turned into a real deal. So I'm excited about that. And I'm also going to throw in 1 or 2 other bonuses, some free reports I had. But thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I sure appreciate it. I look forward to meeting you and hopefully working with you someday. Take care. Thanks.